We are back, ladies and gentlemen, with the third installment of Royal Rumble Memories, coming to you live via Memorex, via the Arrowhead Pond in Anaheim. What did you say earlier? Live via Kodak?
Via Kodak, because the camera's Kodak.
And we are here to bring you our thoughts on Royal Rumbles past from 2004 to last year.
Now, I notice you are rocking a belt you despise.
I am rocking the belt I despise, but I'm rocking it Miz style. So, granted, I'm wearing a Randy Orton t-shirt, but you know, Miz style.
Because
there's only two people that made this belt worth shit. The Miz and CM Punk.
Not the guy who actually originated it.
No.
Okay.
Because he's the one that bastardized that belt.
It's true.
The one who made me hate this belt because I loved that one so much.
This belt is awesome. This belt has been held by Vicky Guerrero herself.
I've said it a few times on shows, and it's like, I kinda was okay with him doing it to the US title.
Okay.
But when he did it to the belt, I just thought it kind of killed the gimmick. So anyways, 2004 Royal Rumble.
Can't talk about that.
We can't.
No, we can't.
Triple H versus HBK in the last man standing draw.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
That was a good match.
That was a good match, yeah.
And then Chris Benoit, the Canadian Crippler.
Dylan, step back. Sorry. Step back, Dylan. The
Member of the Four
himself.
Horsemen.
Member of the Horsemen, yes.
Chris Benoit wins the Rumble, last eliminating the Big Show from the dream position.
Yes.
Second man in history to do so.
And the longest.
They mention it every year, but they never say his name.
Yes.
They always say that the same amount of people have won the Rumble from number 1 as have won it from number 30. And they always show clips of Shawn Michaels, but they always manage to forget.
Well, of course they're going to.
You know, I think the clip of Chris Benoit winning the Rumble is there with like Jimmy Hoffa and Tupac Shakur. It's just buried somewhere.
Disney's head frozen somewhere.
So you have that. Then you have the 2005 Royal Rumble.
I'll mention also in the 2004 Rumble, John Cena's knee gets fucked up.
But his promo pre-match was freaking hilarious with RVD.
Yes.
And then you had 2005 Edge defeating Shawn Michaels. Taker finally winning a casket match over Heidenreich of all people.
So does the Captain.
Yeah, really. And this was this Poetry Heidenreich? Was this LOT Heidenreich? I forget, because Heidenreich was just so forgettable.
It's Poetry Heidenreich.
Okay. Then you had JBL defeating Kurt Angle and the Big Show to retain the belts. Triple H over babyface Orton.
Oh, wow.
And then Batista winning last eliminating Cena. And you mentioned something on part 1 about the 2005 Rumble. Why don't we go ahead and elaborate on this just a little
Basically,
bit?
the 2005 Rumble ended with both Cena and Batista going over the top rope at the same time.
Yes.
Vince got pissed, stormed down the aisle, went in the ring, tore his quad.
Quads. Both of them, right? Didn't he tear both quads?
Tore his quad, tried to stand up to get up, and tore his other quad when he tried to stand up.
Oh,
hey, does that belt spin?
The quadricep match right here. Seriously.
Oh, you guys are taping? Oops.
Yeah.
Alright, sorry. Sorry about that.
Alright.
Gotta love it live.
Gotta love live tapings, guys.
2006 Royal Rumble. Gregory Helms.
Gregory Helms.
Defeating Kid Cash, Paul London, Nunzio, Funaki, and Jamie Noble to become the Cruiserweight Champion.
The longest reigning Cruiserweight champion in WWE history.
Then you had Cena defeating Edge for this right here.
So to regain the championship, yes.
Have you seen any
Gotta
wrestling?
make sure I stop it back this time.
Right.
And then you had Rey Mysterio winning the Rumble, last eliminating Randy Orton. Now, we all know how you feel about Mysterio, and while I kind of bounced back and forth about this, I actually didn't mind him winning the Rumble. It was going on to Mania and winning the belt that I had more. I didn't mind as much him winning. You know, I still was a bit of a Mysterio fan back when this happened, so I kind of popped a little bit to see, you know, Ray go the distance, even though he didn't come in at number 1, he came in at number 2.
The longest time in a Rumble
ran
match.
the distance to earn his shot, so, you know, no hate on Ray for that one, at least on mine. 2007, the Hardy Boys defeating Eminem.
Yes.
The newly reunited Eminem.
Yes.
But
We all know that later on for the Hardys and Eminem later on that year. So we changed it.
Batista over Mr. Kennedy.
So we'll talk about
Kennedy.
Yes, it was to retain his championship.
the last time he defended the championship, if I do recall.
Then you had John Cena defeating Umaga
Oh, sorry, 2007. Yeah, you're
in the last man standing match to retain the title.
Yes.
And the very first man to come in at number 30 and win the Rumble, The Undertaker, last eliminating Shawn Michaels.
After a super kick attempt went awry.
And this was the start of the seeds for what would come a couple years later. I even remember sitting at home and watching this match, seeing Taker Shawn fight it out in the final two, and I was like, I'm willing to bet you somewhere down the road they're going to turn this into a WrestleMania.
It's gonna come up.
Now I have to say, I had this result spoiled for me because I actually worked this night. And I came home and I watched the replay, and I asked everybody in the house, don't tell me jack that happened. And I'm sitting there, and there's a bunch of Undertaker figures. Not even mine. A certain ex-roommate whose nickname is that of a female color. Pinky? Yeah. She had all her Undertaker figures. I'm watching the Royal Rumble. And out comes Undertaker at number 30. And I even said something about, well, there goes Undertaker's chances. No one's ever won at number 30 before. And she's like, this is the first time for everything. I was like, really? Really? It was like, as if the action figures everywhere didn't already spoil it for me. Then you're going to make that comment? Seriously? So, it was no surprise to me, obviously, that Taker won that.
Yep.
Then you fast forward to 2008. Ric Flair defeating Montavious Porter
In a
career-threatening.
Yes.
Edge defeating Rey Mysterio for retain the title.
Yay.
Yeah, they're still selling.
Orton defeating Hardy to retain the title.
Yay.
And then, who drew number 1 and number 2? 2009.
Right.
Picking up where they left off the year before. And they still didn't do anything at that Mania, because that was the career-threatening Shawn Flair match.
And the Undertaker Edge match. And who's in the Mania?
Some guy sitting next to him.
Some guy sitting right here at the Arrowhead Pond.
But then they went and killed Undertaker,
did.
in my opinion,
Yeah.
by having two people win the Rumble back-to-back years in a row.
Because
They
who
had
won
gone
the Rumble?
so long without anybody having won at number 30. They gave it to Undertaker. Okay, cool. Undertaker, he deserves to have that distinction. And then the son of a bitch that originated this belt comes out of nowhere at number 30 and wins the Rumble.
Coming back from
eliminating Triple H.
from a serious pectoral injury at that. Just saying.
I still say that if they were ever going to have turned him heel, that would have been the time. 2009 saw Melina defeat Beth for the Women's Championship. It was a decent match.
It was a decent match. I still
workers.
like the fact that Melina beat Beth Phoenix.
Well, at least it wasn't Kelly Kelly defeating Melina. At least is a worthwhile competitor and heir apparent to the Women's Championship. Edge defeating Jeff Hardy with Matt Hardy screwing Jeff.
That's right. That's right.
If there were ever two people that you never thought you would see aligned post WrestleMania 21,
Right?
it was Edge and Matt Hardy. So
Well, they didn't really have a line, to be fair. That was more Matt against Jeff than it was Matt helping Edge.
but who
I know. I'm just throwing that out there.
handed the belt back to his arch nemesis virtually on a silver platter.
Go ahead.
And then you had Randy Orton
Cost money.
winning the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Once again, last eliminating Triple H. Triple H final 2 years in a row. Yes, sir. 2010, and I'm not even sure why I made a note of this one, but I did. Christian defeating Zeke retain the ECW title.
It was the last time that the ECW Championship appeared on pay-per-view.
That would be why I did it. It was like, it was late at night. I'm taking notes. It's like, why am I making a note of this?
He's sitting there in his bed at freaking whatever it was, 2 o'clock in the morning doing this stuff. Like, okay.
It wasn't that bad. I was in bed by midnight.
Okay. I was at midnight. Okay. I got work to do tomorrow. What am I? Okay. Why am I making these notes?
The Miz defeating MVP to retain the United States title. Taker defeats Rey Mysterio to retain the title.
That's right. Mickey, world champion.
Mickey James defeated Michelle McCool in 20 seconds to become the women's champion.
And then do a kick at everybody.
And then Edge wins the Rumble last of the year.
Coming back from injury.
That's right.
Torn Achilles tendon.
What is it about returning from injury?
I said I made it.
Triple H, Cena, Edge. There's probably a couple others.
Biggest surprise.
I predict, and I'll put it on the prediction show as well. I predict the next time I come back from injury and win the Rumble.
Really? I've been hearing rumblings that a certain WWE television view right now is going to be the one to take the Rumble.
I've heard that as well. The
Ayatollah of rock and roll.
The rumor mill is going back and forth between those two. That's my prediction as of right now.
And then 2011,
the longest
last
Rumble
one we've got to talk about.
Longest Rumble in history, the most power stacked Rumble in history. Everybody in the roster, everybody in the roster was in that Rumble.
Seriously, it was like, okay, you don't have a match on the card, we're putting you in the Rumble.
And you do have a match on the card, we'll still put you in the Rumble.
Yeah. And we're even going to bring back a couple people for the Rumble.
Yeah. Booker T,
Sucker,
and Diesel.
But you had Edge defeating Dolph Ziggler to retain the title. Hopefully a trend that will not continue this year. I kind of, as much as I love Punk, I'd kind of like to see Dolph become champion. Yeah, you stole my idea. But there actually was a bit of a technical difficulty with that episode, so I still get to put it out. I would like to see, if I was booking the Rumble, I know it won't happen because Mr. Man doesn't give a shit what fans like us think. I would have CM Punk drop the belt to Dolph Ziggler, CM Punk ambush somebody, take their spot in the Rumble, win the Rumble, go to Mania to challenge Bryan Daniels for the strap. Giving us our dream match that we have been talking about since Bryan joined the company back in 2000.
Agreed.
So you had Edge defeat Dolph to retain that belt. You had The Miz, M-Style, defeating Randy Orton to retain his championship. You had Eve defeating Lay Cole and Natalya to become the new Divas champion. Yeah, I know, goddamn it. And then the Man of Destiny won the 40-man Rumble, last eliminating of all people, Santino Marella. And I swear that had to be kind of a nod back to freaking Hacksaw winning the first one. The guy that nobody expected to be in there in the final two came that close to winning the Rumble.
I will bet you it was an accident when they turned it on purpose. And I also guarantee you that they purposely had Alberto win the title, win the Rumble, to John Madden at WrestleMania in the opening contest.
That was still a fail.
That was still a fail.
The winner of the Royal Rumble is supposed to be the main event at WrestleMania, not the curtain jerker.
The only guy so far to win Royal Rumble and Money in the Bank in the same year. And then he won the title.
Twice.
Last year, that's right. All right.
So, we hope you have enjoyed these Royal Rumble memories as much as we have. I am the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams.
I've been the Mute today, Jeff Beecham. We'll be back next time with our predictions for the 2012 Royal Rumble pay-per-view. And the belt is spinning. The belt spinning.
It spins, man!
They came out with an